Mark, before we went to break, I said that I wanted to give you my train of thought and talk to you about what I thought about the main event from WrestleDream. Mark, I'm just going to read to you the notes I took, and I try to take notes in order from the very first thing I see from the entrance to the very last thing I see, whether it's breaking down the match or thoughts on the match or outside of the box analyzation or, create constructive criticism, blah, blah, blah. If you want to chime in, feel free to chime in, and I'll slow it down and we can go back and forth on this. But here is my full breakdown of the main event. And I said last night, late on social media, I said I watched it for a second time because I watched it the first time. And then I know what I read on social media. And I was like, wow, people are seeing this from a different perspective than I am. Let me go back and watch it again. And after I watch it a second time, I did not see what everybody else was seeing. I'm sticking to my own guns on this one about how I felt.
Okay.
So here we go, Mox and Danielson in the main event, WrestleDream. First and foremost, I love the fact that Moxley is not coming out to Wild Thing anymore. That's a big thing. Wild Thing is too happy of a song. It's too upbeat of a song. It gets those people rocking and a-rolling. Whenever you are a heel, you never want that kind of music. So I love that they got rid of Wild Thing. I loved the final countdown being played throughout the beginning of the match before the bell rang. You saw Danielson come to the ring, goes up on the turnbuckle, but Moxley goes right after him. And Moxley starts to beat the shit out of him. Big wild brawl ensues. Final countdown is still playing in the back of the arena. It brought me back to the day when New Jack's music would be playing throughout the arena during the whole match, whether he was, and he's beating everybody up. So I liked how they created that excitement in the Tacoma Dome with the final countdown playing. And then they get back in the ring, and the minute Danielson starts doing... the minute the song ends, Danielson gets the whole crowd to do the yes chant, and the bell finally rings, and the referee gets everything under control, and the match starts. So the match is going on, and they're having a good match, which you expect from Danielson and Moxley. A hard-hitting match. It's going to be what it's going to be. The meat of the match doesn't necessarily quote-unquote matter. There are little things that happened within the match. Now, what I noticed was Marina Shafir on the outside was getting involved a lot behind the referee's back. And then eventually, Marina Shafir gets caught. I think she hooked Danielson's leg when Danielson was winding up for a kick. And the referee caught her. And then the referee signals, you got to get out of here, lady. You're out of here. Throws her out. Now, this is a championship match. I would have liked to have seen them do a little bit of a different spin on throwing out the manager, the valet, Marina to be specific. Marina is a very defiant woman. A very violent and defiant woman. When the referee went to go throw her out, I would have loved to have seen Marina say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. Now the referee's telling her, you got to get the hell out of here. You better get the hell out of here. I'm the referee. I'm telling you what to do. As a matter of fact, the ref could even jump down to the floor for half a second and tell Marina, you got to go. And Marina takes a step forward and gets in the referee's face to try to intimidate the referee. The referee sees that. He rolls right back into the ring. The referee turns around to Moxley and tells Moxley, if you don't get her out of here, I'm going to count to 10 and disqualify you. Now that puts a different thing on it because...
You put the heat back in the ring.
Correct.
Rather than on the floor.
Correct. The heat goes back in the ring. Now the referee looks at Moxley, and Moxley doesn't give a shit because he doesn't think the ref's going to do it. 1, 2, and throughout the 10 count, you see Moxley getting a little nervous now. You see Moxley getting a little nervous. Moxley finally has to turn to Marina, and Moxley tells Marina Shafir to leave. They're trying to paint Marina as this badass, but meanwhile, the referee's telling her she's got to leave, so she leaves. The way I'm looking at it right now, Marina Shafir ain't listening to nobody but Jon Moxley. That's the way you could have kept her strong, kept their credibility, and Moxley could have been the one to eventually get rid of Marina. So what do you think about that little different twist?
I love that. I think that would have been a better move. But you know what? Like you said, we're picking nits. There was nothing wrong with it.
No.
Like and people are quick to say, "Oh, they just tried to tear it apart and this and that." Look, we're analysts. Our job is to analyze and tear stuff apart and put it back together, and then tell you what we thought, in our opinion, what would have been good in that case. Guys, that is what the hell we're going to do today. So if you're an AEW mark troll, then just know we're going to make you feel some kind of way, because I'm not pulling no punches.
Neither am I. My suggestion right there, my constructive criticism right there, actually helps to protect Marina more.
And Moxley. And
correct.
It makes Moxley look like you're protecting basically all three.
Yeah.
You're protecting the referee too. And we're going to have some talk about referee stuff. You got to protect the referee. The referee got to protect himself. But the way you did it protected all three people.
Thank you very much. So Marina looks tough, Moxley looks like the leader, and the referee keeps his credibility by thinking outside of the box. Well, if she's not going to listen to my rules, maybe you'll listen to my rules, Moxley, because if I count you out of the match, you can't win the championship. Danielson retains by count out or whatever he says. Disqualification because Marina wouldn't leave the ring. So the match continues. Eventually in the match, Mox hits his Death Rider finish on Danielson. And Danielson kicks out at 1. Now, last week on Raw, Gunther power bombed Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn kicked at 1. And all these people on social media, I'm assuming the majority are AEW fans, were bitching, moaning, and complaining about Sami Zayn kicking out at 1. I came on Busted Open the next day, and I explained that there's no harm, no foul in kicking out at 1 at the right place, at the right time during a match. It's the adrenaline spot. It's that moment
with the right person.
Correct. It's that moment in time where you've gotten your ass kicked so much that your body gives itself a natural shot of adrenaline and you get that superhuman strength for a couple of seconds. That's what Sammy did when he kicked out of Gunther's powerbomb. That's what Danielson did when he kicked out of Mox's Death Rider. He got that shot of adrenaline. Right place at the right time. When done by the right people, it works. This is not just, it's okay for Sammy, but it's not okay for Danielson. This is okay for any talent if they put it in the right spot of the match and if it lasts just long enough to get the job done. Shortly after that, we get the finish where Moxley has the sleeper or some type of cravat, sleeper, chokehold, whatever, on Danielson. And they go down, and Moxley's choking him out with the sleeper, i.e. Adrian Adonis, Goodnight Irene. Referee comes, shakes Danielson's arm, looks at his eyes, touches his head, shakes his arm again. Danielson's out. Referee calls for the bell. And the boos started to ring in. My friends, you are entitled to your opinion. Everybody listening right now is entitled to their opinion, whether or not they liked the finish or did not like the finish. You liked the way it tasted. You didn't like the way it tasted. You liked the way it looked. You didn't like the way it looked. You liked the way it sounded. You didn't like the way it sounded. It made you happy. It made you sad. Whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. But allow me to tell you why that finish works. The finish works because it's credible. AEW is priding themselves on being sport. The sport of professional wrestling, where the best wrestle. Well, the best wrestler hooked his best wrestling chokehold on another best wrestler and beat him with it. What's wrong with that?
Not a damn thing.
Mark, not every show has to end on a high note.
There you go. There you go. You said it. I love the explanations, and I love the fact that you took the process of getting there. And every show should not end with shits and giggles, because that's not life, and that's not pro wrestling. And you know what? I don't think I ever seen as many people come out on top at home as they did in Seattle. Swerve came out on top. Darby came out on top. Like, they had things. I don't think I ever lost. I don't think I ever won a match in Austin. I barely won a match in Houston or Dallas. Barely. San Antonio,
poor JR got killed every time we went to Oklahoma.
Every time somebody chokeslammed his ass.
Yep.
Verbally abused him. That's what you do.
So this was a credible finish, just like an MMA finish. Moxley prides himself on doing this MMA type stuff on the side, whether it's blood sport, which is kind of like that work, shoot, MMA style, or actually like doing judo or some of these MMA-esque things that he does. That is a legitimate finish. And sometimes in an MMA match, the guy catches a choke, the girl catches a choke, the match is over, end of story.
Over.
The reason the fans were so pissed off is because they didn't get what they wanted from the hometown guy. But guess what, people? We're not catering to the 8,000 people in the arena. You're catering to the masses that are watching at home. That's the big picture. There was no big finish. There was no screw job. There it was, right in the middle. Daniel Bryan is right when years and years ago he said, professional wrestling fans are fickle. Sometimes you guys just don't know what makes you happy. This was the correct finish to do. If Daniel Bryan is leaving, Bryan Danielson, whatever, is leaving, and he's got to get neck surgery, and he's banged up, and he needs time off, what else is there to do? Why not? If Danielson was good and he was going over, great. Babyface finish right in the middle of the ring. Rah, 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 sis, boom, bah, confetti, balloons, cannons, big celebration with all the fans. Danielson
Cakes
jumps
and pie for everybody.
Exactly. I was told to be punch and pat. Jumps into the crowd, does a lap in the whole arena, celebrates, yes chants, smiling happy. But that wasn't the case. This dude's got a split. So what better way to get a fuck ton of heat on Mox and his crew than to beat Danielson in his hometown, beat down Danielson in his hometown, give Yuta the final nail in the coffin with the plastic bag over the head, give Claudio that moment where he stomps Danielson's neck in the chair. Everybody got a piece.
Where is it written, Bully, that you got to have all of it? You got to have your cake and eat it too.
It's not.
They gave you a bone. They threw you a bone. You got Darby. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Swerve being able to come out standing in the ring on top. Like, damn, you like, guys, really. I want y'all to stop being fans for just 1 second, and you'll never hear me say this again. Why do you go to a movie? Why do you go see the Avengers? Because you want to see them use their superpower and then just, all right, end the movie. No. You want to see somebody that's able to put them at a deficit. And for them to be able to fight back from that adversity that looked like an impossible odd and win and make you happy. Avengers had 2 series that went in the shitter because they tried to play to the fan too much and they learned from their mistake. And they said, you know what? We're going to make Iron Man die. We're gonna lose, and then we're gonna win. And they did. But that's what wrestling is. Stop acting like you need to win every time.
AEW gave the fan base a bunch of wins already when it came to Danielson.
Yes.
I can sit here and tell you hot shot matches don't do anything for you. But at the end of the day, Tony did give you Danielson and Nigel at Grand Slam. He gave you Danielson and Okada. He gave you all these dream matches. Yay, Danielson. Yay, Danielson. Yay, Danielson. Now it's time for him to go away. What are we going to do? Send him off by going, yay, Danielson? No. This is a company that lacks heels. This is a company that lacks heat. Heels drive a territory. You need top heels. You need monster heels. You need heels that you hate. You need heels that you want to see get hurt. You need heels that you want to see your babyface get their comeuppance on. As of right now, based on everything that I saw at the end of that show of WrestleDream, I want Darby Allin to be positioned as my superhero. I want Darby Allin to now fight for what the BCC did to Bryan Danielson. Darby was the guy set up to be the hero. That's why I have to tune in this Wednesday. Guys, this is not Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan's final farewell. You think that's the last time you're going to see him in a wrestling ring? You think that's the way the wrestling business, whether that's Tony Khan or Triple H or any company on the planet, you think that's the way they're going to end Danielson's in-ring career? Take it from your Uncle Bully. Bookmark this show. It's not happening. You're not going to get his final farewell tomorrow. You're going to get his final farewell when he's healed up and he can come back. And Mark, I was standing on the stage in WWE. I actually videotaped it myself. Daniel Bryan's final night in the WWE, where he went to the ring and he gave his final farewell, and we were all out on the stage, and we all gave him the big send-off. He didn't wrestle.
Yeah.
He said goodbye to everybody. He got a final farewell. Everybody hugged him. Everybody kissed him. All the chants got to chant yes. It was a great moment. So, yeah, you might not get Bryan Danielson's final match where he has to go over, but you're going to get a chance to say goodbye to him. He's going to have a chance to leave his boots in the middle of the ring one day.